Welcome to, wow, that came in red, ToV Live! It is Valhalla time. Welcome everybody tonight to the ToV live stream, aka the ToV Podcast if you're listening to this on the audio sphere on Spotify later on. But currently we are recording live tonight, this Sunday, and first Sunday in April. How's everybody doing tonight? We're doing good? We're doing good.
We are doing good.
Spring is on its way,
Fantastic.
you know? Yes, absolutely. And of course we have some of the usual guys in our panel. Of course, I am Ryan, Tales of Valhalla. We have Sir JoeCrazy. We have Sir Jeremy, the Elysium Cullet. And we have Sir Just Turned 40, Jason, Rocket Robotics. And we have with us tonight as a guest on our panel, Dom Predator 77, also known as Dominic. Welcome to the ToV Podcast, sir. How are you doing tonight? And I just want you, I'd love for you to give just a brief introduction right now. What do you do? You have a YouTube channel, and just give a little bit of shameless self-promotion to yourself for like a minute, and just tell the audience who are you and what are you about?
Cool. Yeah, so I'm actually one of the younger Heroscapers on the scene for sure. My brother introduced it to me when I was like, I don't know, like 10 or something. But now I'm 18 now, so I've been playing it for like 8 years, and I love the game. I got into Heroscape into like the online community in like 2020, so I've been around for like 3 years. And my channel, I made a YouTube channel kind of for fun, but I made a couple videos that got me some good subscribers. But I mostly do just like random stuff. There's like gaming and there's all kinds of stuff. But I do have like playlists, so you can go and see my like Heroscape playlist if you're just here for Heroscape. But I also do have like stop motion and stuff of like predators and all, so that's cool.
Very, very nice. And there is already a link to Don Predator's YouTube channel in the description below. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and give him a subscribe. Check out some of his things. Yes, he does have some Heroscape stuff on there. I was viewing some of that before a little bit this evening as well, just to get caught up on there. Yes. So
nice.
Go and give him some support, some love. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at my levels, my microphone levels, and I'm in the red a lot. So hopefully I'm not bursting anybody's eardrums tonight. And hello, welcome Chad Paris to the live chat. You saying woohoo? I hope so. No, it should be a fun time tonight. We have a lot of things that we're going to cover tonight. And let me just first say, first we're going to read some journal. We're gonna do a journal entry 12 through 14 because we do not want a cliffhanger like we almost had last time when it comes to journal readings. Just to keep Joe as calm as possible. No cliffhangers. And we are going to be looking at Alastar Macdirk as our squad and heroes. And we're also going to just have a little chat with Dom Predator himself, just a little bit about stop motion Heroscape and YouTube. So go one-on-one with him a little bit, talking about that. We're also going to talk about something that's really I haven't prepared for tonight because it's nothing that I have designed up. That is Sir JoeCrazy, who is going to be showing us something about a Heroscape Adventure, and it's a new take on how to play the game. So looking forward to that. But first, before Chad Paris is saying you're coming in fine, mic is fine. Excellent. I mean, it's a pretty good mic, so I'm hoping, I see like over here, because while we're doing live, I'm also like glancing over and seeing how the levels are and making sure everything's working properly with the live stream. And when my levels go red, I kind of I'm a little worried. But thank you so much, Chad Paris, for making sure that that's okay. Before we get started, I do want to give a quick shout out to another YouTube channel that just basically got started. They have one video, but they posted this on Facebook and caused a little bit of a stir because people got really excited over this. So this YouTube channel is called Roadscaper. It is not in the YouTube description yet. When the live stream is done, I will place some information and link in it. But all you have to do is type Roguescaper. And if you're listening to this in Audiosphere, just go ahead and type that ROGUE, R capitalized, capital S, CAPER on the YouTube search bar. You should be able to find them. And I'm just going to play for a few minutes the video that they posted on here. And it's something just really fun. Like, I'm not going to show the whole thing. Go and watch for yourself when you have a chance. But let me just put this there. Okay, and it's loud. It's loud. Yeah, hold on a second. It's a really good pan. It's got smoke, and you just see like all these Heroscape terrains, and I think there's like C3V figures in here too.
I think that's real smoke too.
Yeah, it is. It is. He showed a picture. Some of the behind the scenes and showed what the camera's on, and yeah, it was definitely real smoke.
Oh, he's got a logo now?
Yeah, he updated his he updated his YouTube page a little bit.
Oh, wonderful.
And so let me just fast forward through this. It's a really nice pan. And just all these Heroscape miniatures be C3V or be original. And hey, I think we got Rogue Idealist right there in the chat on Twitch. And he's like, "Oh, thanks for the shout out." No, hey, Rogue Idealist, you are welcome, I believe. And I'm just going to ask you, this is basically an introduction to let's see. Well, here I'll just read her here. It says, "Hello, I am the Rogue Idealist, and I'm excited to announce this channel, which will feature painting and custom tutorials for a classic game of Heroscape. Subscribe for more videos. While the game was canceled years ago, the game never died, and it'll never die as long as we're still here. As it has an active and passionate community, I hope you all, veterans and newcomers to this game, and assist in continuing the battle of all time." Yes, and yeah, Rogue Idealist, I mean, this I applaud you for this good shot, because not since don't mean to brag, but not since my own work have I seen like cam work as good as this. So I do applaud you for this little shot. But yeah, look forward to see what type of customs you make, because I'm even exploring making customs, making C3V customs and stuff. So look forward to what you'll do to make for this channel, and I'm sure many others will as well. So the Rogue Idealist, Roguescaper on YouTube, and of course, apparently there's a Rogue Idealist on Twitch. So Rogue Idealist, just real quick, do you plan to live stream these as well in the future? And if you will, I will also put your Twitch up as a link for people to subscribe to as well, if that's the case. Just go ahead and answer in the chat, and then I will relay that as well. So Rogue Idealist, go check out that video, and hope to see more very soon in the future from you, sir. And Rogue Idealist says that's a plan, waiting on some equipment and figures to come in. All right, absolutely. So definitely, if you're listening to this on the Audiosphere via Spotify, go to the Tales of Hell YouTube channel, and there'll be links in the description below for the Rogue Idealist for the YouTube channel and for their Twitch. So definitely put that down there. All right. So anyway, now that we are way over time, let's hop into the journal readings. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So Thormun's journal. Let's bring this up here. Where is it? I need to find it. Okay, so we're going to start with journal entry 12. Who would like to read? the very beginning of journal entry 12.
I'll speak, because I like talking.
Yes, he does. Sir JoeCrazy, go ahead.
Journal entry number 12. Try to get the MK Plus Ultra, right?
Yeah.
This is his voice.
Ben, we miss you so much. I don't know if you're listening, but we do miss you, Ben. I hope everything's well with you.
The best Ben impression. Jandar shared his visions about the wellsprings. There are 6 known wellsprings on Valhalla. I recently discovered the 7th in northern Nostraland. There are 15 small chambers around each wellspring. When a wellspring is first discovered, 14 chambers are empty, and 1 chamber contains an amulet. I believe from my visions that these chambers represent the 15 wellsprings on Valhalla, and that 1 amulet will be found in each wellspring upon its discovery. Possession of these amulets is critical, for in my recent visions, Utgar had gained possession of all 15 of the amulets, with catastrophic results.
All right. I'm going to do next one, because I'm going to do my own Jandar voice, because in Tales of Valhalla, I do speak some Jandar, because I was kind of forced to.
Is that a new language?
What?
You speak Jandar?
Yeah. I speak as Jandar. I am Jandar to everybody.
I am Jandar.
Not willingly, but it's just
I'm
something
just not
I had
any
to do.
Jandar. I'm the Jandar.
I'm a Jandar. Jandar Ease. Anyway, okay. I'm going to read this first paragraph on 13. All right, Jandar Revelations continued. Okay, wait a minute. I got to get the best voice here, and I alter this, so it's not going to be the same as what's on ToV. But okay, nope, it's not coming. But anyway, around each wellspring are several slightly raised panels with ancient ruins. The rune inscribed on 2 side-by-side panels shows a circle of swirling rocks with a star at its center. When a Valkyrie places one hand on each of these panels and concentrates, his visions become more realistic, more vivid and intense. The key is to continue pressing these panels and concentrating, for this will open a portal through which powerful heroes and armies from other worlds and eras may enter. All right, who wants to go next?
All right, I can go next, but I don't know if I can match any voices right now. So
It's okay. I believe in you, Jeremy.
I'm gonna channel my best Odin experience. I don't know. All right. As the portal opens, a spiral of crystals and rocks will rise up from the wellspring, swirling higher and higher in a circular pattern. A bright blue light will pour through the center of the portal. The Valkyrie must quickly fly into this light and through the portal, then use his telekinetic powers to bring the hero or army through the opening. These heroes and armies from other worlds are strong and powerful, and provide a great source of reinforcements. All Valkyrie who wish to join us in our fight against the evil Utgar must begin bringing in these critical allies. There you go. I don't know if that works.
Not bad. Hey, I like it.
All right, Jason, you're next.
Yeah, I'm not doing a voice, but sure.
I
I don't do voices. That's not my specialty.
Well, okay.
So...
How about you speak as Gearnt, and everybody will be happy.
I thought about trying to do that, and it's like that's like a expression thing. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right. Let me just try it. Give me a second here.
All right, take a breather. You got it.
All right. My recent visions show me Utgar placing one of the 15 amulets in each chamber of a wellspring. What am I doing here? He forces a captive human to press his hands against the 2 panels. A portal opens to the planet Earth, and the next event is so horrific that it sends shivers of fear throughout my entire being. A horde of Morrow and these minions fly through the portal, earthbound and feverish to invade and conquer. We will not allow these events to occur, but I'm stuck here in the middle of nowhere for no apparent freaking reason. I believe the Valkyrie who possessed the 15 amulets will gain the ability to control these visions. And will thus be able to invade planets via the portals. Likewise, a Valkyrie who possesses all the amulets will be able to return all heroes and armies to their home planets. This is an idea. You must relay this information only to the Valkyrie who swear their allegiance in this war against Utkar. These are my orders.
Nice.
I think we're gonna have Jason read as Geert more in the future. I think we've discovered something tonight. Yeah, I kind of like the ad lib in there.
What did I do?
what did you do, Jason? No, that was lovely. I like that.
Do I need to start practicing those ahead of time now and figure out where I can add the ad libs in? And all that
and unfortunately, now you probably lose your voice every other Sunday. You remember all those voiceover sessions we had with you shouting, and like by the time we were done, your voice was gone. Anyway, okay, so some important things with this. What we consider?
Yeah,
being
this is
important
interesting because
There's a lot to say in terms of like, there's a lot of detail here, but I want to say the most important thing to remember, and I was talking with Ryan about it earlier. We actually read this specific entry back in August, and so like this, not only is these like big stuff for the story of Heroscape as its core, but this was what they were going to base Age of Annihilation on, and we were able to talk about it earlier and kind of like, theorize about what exactly that would reference, because they, Chris told us, hey, this is really important. And we're like, yeah. So we got to talk about this in detail back in August. And so we're back to this now. And it's just, I would say, first thing to remember is that this is like one of the core stories of Heroscape. Like, this is the foundation experience of why everything is happening. And it's so good. So just remember that.
Yeah, and we talk about like 15 well springs, and I think when we were talking with Chris, I think our conversation led into, are there 15 or are there more than 15? And from what I remember the conversation, I think he was indicating that there was going to be more. So is if I remember correctly, is that right?
I think they were discussing, because they were trying to get through. I remember they were like combing through all the lore, and they were trying to figure out what parts they wanted to keep and what parts they needed to explain. And the debate was, are there more well springs, or are there just a bunch of waters that were confused for well springs and only 15 specific ones exist? It was just, it was one of those things they were getting us to think about a lot. And I think at the end of it, they were saying that was just 15, and then a bunch of like there was a whole network kind of thing, and that they were associated with each other, like connected underground and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, we need more information, and yeah,
and we need terrain. We need tons and tons of terrain. Wouldn't it be just aside, just my gaming mind coming to the forefront here? Wouldn't it be awesome to have terrain that was like you would do battle in a wellspring, temple type thing?
They even got one set up. The Wellspring of Obsession when was that released? 2000, and it hadn't have been before Swarm of the Morrow, but it was 2 Rise of the Valkyrie Masters, I'm pretty sure. And then like every time someone went into the water, they would get powers. But if they stayed in the water too long, it was like they just had this whole mechanic set up to it. It was a really cool play.
Yeah, well, but I'm talking about terrain like you actually like have terrain that is like a subterranean, um, like wellspring center, like what's described in some of these journals. You know, you actually have like a rock type of terrain
the
or a
ruins.
wellspring wall terrain and wellspring floor, and actual instead of regular water, maybe sparkly water is wellspring water, and you know, and yeah, that would I mean. If they release something like that, it would get eaten up. It would get so eaten up. Anyway, okay. I know that's gameplay. It's not lore. So let's go back into the lore here a second. Any other thoughts from Wellspring of Obsession? Any other thoughts from these?
I always.
Oh, go ahead, Jason.
So on the topic of the amulets that are in each of the well springs, do they do anything other than, in theory, be able to bring people back to a planet?
I
mean,
I think the amulets were hinted at as like the keys to basically start the whole magical combination, because they brought up the amulets again in Sujoa's bio. So this is like jumping far ahead. And when she got the stone, that's what allowed the portal to open. And so they're saying that if you have all 15 amulets, like that allows you to basically reverse the process. So instead of summoning people to Valhalla, all 15 amulets together would allow you to send people back to their home worlds. And Utgar was trying to get all 15 because if he did that, he could send his army to take over the galaxy. And that was his ultimate plan, was to take over Valhalla and then keep going.
But any given amulet is basically has to be used to open a portal on the wellspring to bring people here. Is that the idea? Okay.
Yeah, it was like the catalyst, the locust, that kind of thing. It's just something to focus the magic into, I think.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know we talked about with Chris talking about, it's like when people are summoned to Valhalla, they're right before they die. Like, is there a way back? Like, can they even go back? Yeah. And so it's interesting
the theory was you get all 15 keys, you can send them back, but you had to find all 15 keys, and they only found 6 before the game ended. So it's like
yeah, because there's only there's so many Valkyrie generals with keys and amulets, and so. Yeah. So I mean, me crossing my fingers that we eventually can get to that.
Get this conclusion. Yep.
But at least at this point, like we have an objective. There's motive. There's something in the story that drives us and go, oh, snap! Here we are. Cool. Mm-hmm. What now? Now we gotta go find them. How do we find them? Because we don't even. It's not like we don't even know where like Ukar is. We don't know where Einar. Like I assume that we don't know the location of the Valkyrie generals, and I could only imagine too that when they get to, let's say, one of the generals and say, "Hey, you have an amulet," and they go, "What amulet?" Like I wonder if they all knew.
It's so to kind of what's going on in this part of the journal. Jandar's telling this to Thormun, right? And Thormun tells this to 3 others.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of the, and kind of jumping ahead here, but by the end of all of this, for Valkyrie, the amulets help cause the wellspring to open, and that if you get all 15, you can send things back. And then later on, when they meet Aquila, right, she already had the amulet. She already knew what that was, but like she found that when she was a kid, so she had been in the summoning thing far longer than they had. So, and that's where they ended, and I was like,
Gotcha.
Like, that's cool, but they never finished it. So
yeah, no, that's why I like this. This is a good one.
Mm-hmm. It's one of my. That's why, like when Chris was like, "Hey, read this," I was like, "I know these. Like, I know these journal entries well because this is some of the best stuff that they wrote."
And there's also like within these journal entries, it's Jandar prophesying basically about the future as well.
Yep.
And it's not a pleasant future.
Yep. Because yeah, the captive human, like that last part, like that's an event to come that has not happened yet, but Jander has seen the ultimate conclusion if Utgar was allowed to succeed, is that Mara would invade Earth, and then possibly all the other worlds, all the forces that he had gathered would then start to go to the other planets, and then all the planets would fall under Utgar's control. And it's just like, I mean, that's insane. The entire galaxy overrun by one Valkyrie general. That was what he wanted to do. And it's like, ooh.
I really do have a vision for a live action Heroscape movie.
It would be so cool.
Oh,
And that the vision that you just said about the Morrow invading Earth, that is a movie to me that is like after one whole trilogy of films.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That would happen. Like that's
I mean, that is a critical moment. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Mario dropping onto Earth, and obviously their first goal was to find a swamp, and then they just everywhere.
Well, I
like,
imagine the Hive being the first thing that's ported in.
Absolutely, they know what they're doing too.
Yeah.
And then imagine they start like absorbing Earth technology because they're like, well, this works, so they incorporate it into their biology because they're biomechanic. So they just start, they start growing Earth technology and using it against humans, and you're like, oh no, it just gets worse, like quickly too.
And I would assume they would know, at least the Hive would have the knowledge of a majority of what's, on Earth based on the humans that they've interacted with already.
Oh yeah, yep.
So
like kind of like that one pirate Morrow from Age of Annihilation.
yeah.
Yep. That was a hint. That was a hint of a future of the Hive. They hinted that there was independence. There was possible independence from the Hive, and that was the hint through the pirate because they were like, yeah, no, he's not connected to the Hive, and we're like, explain.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Do you
independent.
mean what happened to the Hive? And then we just never got to get that story. And we're like, but
We'll have to make our own.
Oh yeah,
yes, we
absolutely.
do. Yes, we do. Yeah, Rogue Idealist in the chat says here, I wrote a terrible screenplay for Heroscape when I was 14. I've been wanting a live-action Heroscape for so long. Yeah, well, some of us are trying to do as best as we possibly can.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job.
Gracias, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And now, okay. Anything else with these? Because I know, I mean, we are now a little bit over time, but I think these are important to spend another minute on if there's anything else that we observe from it that we want to talk about. When people read these and go through these, at least they have this video, as a point of reference. So anything else that stands out to you guys for these?
No,
I think we went over everything.
Yeah, it gives us a good vision of more about the Wellsprings, and that's something that interests me a lot.
Yeah, base Heroscape was based on this, like the original, and then they were planning on using this as the base for Age of Annihilation. So, just really good stuff on both, I think.
Remember, audience, this was the key moment. This is to remember.
Yep.
Remember this.
So you can watch this episode, and you can watch our episode back in August talking about it. They both connect. It's like
I mean, we still. I mean that. I don't remember what podcast that was, but all the podcasts are there on Spotify for people to listen to. So we can. It'd be Chris's interview. So there you go. Yeah, just find that one on Spotify and listen. Just listen to the lore that's being discussed in there. Oh my goodness, we had so much fun with that. All right. Well, so if there's nothing else, then I will close out this segment of the podcast then. Reading Thormun's journal entry 12, 13, and 14 because we didn't want to leave a cliffhanger for Joe.
No
cliffhangers. So that is what we did for tonight, for Thormun's journal today. And now moving on to, something else. All right. Now, okay, what do we get next? All right. So heroes and squads. And tonight we have a special. Now, for us, a little bit older generation who knows a little bit about pop culture movies, we might take a guess on who this miniature is. And when I was talking to Joe last week about it, he's just like, "Wait, what movie are you talking about?"
Oh no,
a little bit.
Joe.
Yeah, I know. It's just he's making this a bigger deal than it really is.
Yeah, I know. I told him.
It.
I told him, like,
big
dude,
deal.
go watch that movie. Watch it now.
It's Braveheart, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Braveheart. Yeah.
So wait, where is it? All right, Alastar Macdirk. Here is Alastar Macdirk. He was an old Scotsman with a long, broad sword, and he would hack off heads. All right, that's the best Scottish I can do right now. All right, so here we have the Book of Alastar Macdirk. Jandar is a general. He's human. He's a unique hero. He's a champion. He's valiant. He's a medium 5. Has a special ability, overextended attack. Wait, I'll do the special ability last. 6 life, 5 spaces, 1 space range, attack 5. That is super. Defense 3, 110 points. Overextended attack is the special ability, and that's really all he needs. After taking a turn with Alastar Macdirk, you may place a wound marker on Alastar Macdirk and take another turn with him. You may only use this power once during a round. That's very important, because there's one time me and Jason were playing, and I was using Alastar Macdirk, and I misread that instruction, and I totally was destroying Jason until we realized, oh yeah, once per round, right? I'm sorry. So yes, that did happen. Let me bring this back up. Okay, so there he is. Really a whopper of a character. So when it comes to the stats and how he's played, and of course he's got the Macdirk Warriors to synergize with as well as others. How would you guys think about this particular hero?
He's solid.
Mm-hmm.
Overextended attack is pretty risky. I think it's way better for Elgrim than Alastar, but I think thematically it works for him. But yeah, no, obviously when you use him with the Macdirk Warriors, because they have the Highland Fury power that I think they get. If I just read this through real quick, they're getting extra attack die based on how many wounds he has. So he's a good one to pair with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when it comes to overextended attack, it might be a good one to use to wipe out enemies like early in the beginning, like when he's still at a full 6 life. So you can kind of risk, removing 1 or 2 or putting 1 or 2 wound markers on him, and still just waylaying at people to really get a good few good scores at the very beginning of the game. When you're just starting to attack, I think.
And then you could also like leave him in the back and like kind of just wound him so that your Macdirk Warriors get like boosted, and you just leave him in the back so he's not in danger of getting attacked.
That's true too. That is very true. Whereas with the human champion bonding as well, for sure. Because if that means right, because if you just use him to take turns, then potentially you could have a squad. That's a good loophole, Dom, actually, to where a squad can take 2 turns at once. Yeah. Yeah, is that how that works? I think that's how it works.
No, I don't know where you're going with that. What do you mean?
Wait,
2 turns
no,
away.
because with the Macdirk Warriors, they have like an ability. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I know it boosts I think it's their attack.
Yeah,
boost their attack.
Yeah.
For each wound he has.
Oh,
they get
okay,
additional
I'm thinking of
attack
a
die.
different bonding. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. That would kind of make sense, but yeah, it's kind of more of a attack boost for your squads, which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And they start at 2, which is nuts. So, I mean, even at half life for him, they each have attack of 5. That's nuts.
That's crazy.
Is there anything with the Macdirk Warriors to prevent them from multiple squads having the same champion? So could you have like 4 of their squads? It's one champion?
Yeah, it's one champion. And they're
Okay.
common,
Yeah.
so it's going to work for
Let me
everybody.
just bring them up a second. Okay,
Yeah.
Macdirk Warriors.
If they were
human champion.
unique, that would be different.
Okay, yeah,
Like-
yeah, it's the human champion that goes first. I'm sorry, with the bonding. So before taking a turn with Macdirk Warriors, you may first take a turn with any human champion you control. So that's how that works. Okay, I'm sorry. So I got confused on who was taking the turn with those things. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so there can only be one human champion for all the Macdirk Warriors. So no matter how many
you could
squads.
potentially have a whole squad of these guys with 5 attack dice running around, because they all could activate Macdirk in the back, or he could just double move and run around in circles. You end up with like 16 common squad guys, each with like 4, 5, 6 attack dice.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just like, let's say,
Actually
overextend
work well.
attack in the beginning, and they're just running around with attack of 3 or even 4. I mean, the 80 points is pretty high for a squad, but I guess it's not too far off from taking 10th Reg, which are 75 each. So, you know, in a 500 point army, you're taking 5 or 6 of these if you want. And they're a squad of 4, so you can get at least 15 to 20 of these guys on the board with all each attack of 4 or 5. You're wrecking shop.
Yeah, that would be pretty insane.
And then it is like kind of interesting if like, because you could run them in and then you'd be getting potentially 5 attacks, right? Which is really nice. But I don't know. It's kind of up to like what kind of army you're playing against, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rogue Idealist says throw in Finn for his aura boost, and now you're cooking.
Honestly, you just pod them up with Finn. No, for sure. And then once Finn dies, you put Finn on Alastar, and then you're still working for the team.
Yep. For sure. And for people who are just like getting started with Heroscape, building the armies, you know, and just like looking at some like miniatures that are like the cost is like $200, $100 to $200 for, you know, some of these. I mean, Alastar is, I think it's fairly reasonable to find. Sometimes you could find them and find them in a lot, like selling on eBay or Goodwill or something. So fairly easy miniature to get. I don't know about the Macdirk Warriors themselves, but I know I've seen them because I've experienced this like over time and just like eBay auctions and such, that sometimes you could end up with these guys for a relatively, you know, reasonable price.
Alastar Macdirk's about $20 in eBay right now. The squad is about $40.
Yeah, like I said, the squad's a little bit more expensive. It is.
No. You gotta just get them 3D printed.
Yeah, 3D printed. That's
Go to Trixie 3D.
That's the beauty of the 3D print. Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Banging store.
That's the beauty of that. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I just got a ton of zombies 3D printed. I just painted them, so that was nice.
Nah.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's go to some of the lore of Alastar here. It says there's an old Scottish saying: "The swifter the storm, the stronger it is." When Jandar found Alastar, and wait a second, I gotta move this over, running to the front of the battle lines, he knew this was one of the most adventurous warriors he had ever seen. It is said that Alastar can run all day without tiring, but his wounds on that day were too severe. So Jandar took him to Valhalla. Kelda healed his wounds, and now Alastar and his claymore fight in Valhalla. As a boy of 12, he fought alongside his father against Edward II. As a man, he continued to fight for Scottish independence. The clan Macdirk has always had the fiercest soldiers in the Highlands of Scotland, and Alastar is one of their finest. And yeah, okay, yeah, Rogadios, I was about to do it. Freedom! Yeah, Rogadios says, if you don't yell freedom while playing this character, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, I see. And if to all you out there, if you have not watched, oh, now I lost, what is the name of the movie? Dang it, what is the name of the movie?
Braveheart.
Braveheart, thank you.
There you go.
I lose my
Not a
mind.
fan.
If you have not watched this movie, go watch this movie. And it's actually a good movie to watch with a honey too, as well. If you've got a girlfriend, got a wife, watch it with her, because not only is it a man movie to where it's just fighting and blood and battles and stuff, there's also romance in there. It's the wonderful mix of a movie where men go and the women go ah. So anyway, yes, go watch that. All right, promotion done. So anyway, any other thoughts on the lore from this? Obviously, it's pointing towards that movie. Someone must have loved Braveheart to create this miniature. Anything else we can glean from this character bio?
Oh. See.
And I guess I'm pointing it to the lore master himself. Yeah, go ahead, Jeremy.
I did some digging. Found it interesting. Braveheart. So Braveheart, the movie, is about William Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
William Wallace fought against Edward I, right? As far as we understand the history of it. This character was fighting against Edward II when he was 12. So did some digging. I'm assuming, and this is just a guess because my Scottish history is very, very little, unfortunately. It might be in reference to the Battle of Bannockburn, which was June 23rd, 1314. And so that's my guess. I'm going to shoot that as my, because I want to say that the person who wrote this bio definitely did some research, and that's super cool because I always do like seeing the historical references.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest here. If I know for myself, and I know for a lot of players, if you have looked into the background, Heroscape has taught you a little history, because I've learned a little history from Heroscape. Yeah, so I'm gonna shoot for 1314 on Earth, the year 1314 on Earth, and I looked for that Scottish saying. That's an actual thing. So that's pretty cool too. The swifter the storm, the stronger it is. I googled it, and it's a proverb, an actual written thing, back in 1882. So pretty cool stuff.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, there's your little history bit. That I was thinking about, because when you have your fantasy characters, you use the fantasy stories. When you have your historical characters, let's dig into some history. That's what I was able to find out about this character. So pretty cool stuff.
Awesome. And I know we have some history buffs that listen to the show that watch these videos sometimes. So
please
correct or add on, or anything else, any other information you want to say, please write it in the comment section, either on this segmented video or on the main live stream video comment section on YouTube below, and give us some insight. Let's expand our knowledge on the character and the lore of this. We would absolutely welcome it. So, and let me just let's wrap this up by saying, when synergy benefits, we already talked about a little bit, but Knights of Weston, as well as Dirk Warriors, the 4th Massachusetts line, which is JoeCrazy's favorite.
Yeah, man, they're great.
He loves them so much. C3V SOV Custom Synergy, Sir Auric, Captain John Varon, Eben Armor. Yeah, and again, just there's links in the description below. Check out the books of Heroscape for all these miniatures on how to get them, how to use them. Always love reading through those tactics and everybody's thoughts and comments on that. So with that, any other final thoughts before we wrap up on Sir Macdirk.
I used to think it was like once per turn, but it says once per round, so
Yep.
I didn't really notice that. You'd think it would be one of those reveal an X order marker and then you get to use it, so it's like more you can keep track of the round, right? Like if you already used
Right.
it. So I don't know. That's just an interesting thought.
Yeah, and it's a very important thing to really read the instructions, because
Oh, yeah.
I've made this mistake. I still make mistakes. I lose my mind. But for this, yeah, every round. It's not every turn. It's every round, which is still fun. It's still fun to
Yeah.
use. And you learn to use the ability well for Sir Alastar there. Absolutely. Anything else from before we close?
I
No.
just want to say,
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Alastar is a fun character for me because he was the first character I ever lost in my collection.
Oh,
jeez.
no.
So like every time I see him, I'm like, oh yeah, that was such a great moment when I couldn't find him. But I managed to actually get him again thanks to the fantastic salespeople on eBay. I bought him because when Age of Annihilation was being announced, the Frostclaw Paladins were actually bonding with Jandar champions, and he was one of the only champions I didn't have at the time. So, yeah, that's another combo I definitely need to try out. I have not tried out officially in the game yet, is seeing the Frostclaw Paladins work with the rest of the heroes of Jandar, because I was like, I'm excited. The idea of them playing was so cool in my mind. You know, giant bears next to the human heroes, like, yeah. But we'll get there eventually.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything else? Nada? All right. So this has been, and with Rogue Idealist and the Elysium saying F in chat. I'm always confused by those things, but I know it means it's something positive. Yes,
Yeah.
this has been looking at Alastar Macdirk with looking at squads and heroes segment of the ToV podcast. And until next time, we will do more. Anyway, okay, now I really got to figure out how to close these things, and because the first few videos I was thinking, okay, I'm closing it the same way. Then I try to do something different, but if I don't have anything in mind, then I just really flop it up terribly. Anyway, okay. Now, what are we getting on next here? Okay, so main topic, and well, kind of main topic. No, not main topic. Guest chat. Okay, this is something new. I don't know if this is going to be a segment, if we're going to segment this into its own video or not, but this is something that we're just testing out for the podcast. It might be something that we'll segment in the future that we might have with other guests, but we're going to work on this. So this segment, or could be segment, is just a guest chat with Sir Dom Predator himself, and I guess what we'd want to talk about is based on the experience you have in creating a YouTube channel, doing a little stop motion, liking Heroscape. I guess I would say first, Dom Predator, like, what were the motivations of you to like start your YouTube channel, to put some Heroscape to? I mean, obviously you did some stop motion of you're obviously a Predator fan. You like that part of pop culture. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. And so just tell us what a little bit. What are your motivations, and what got you started doing that?
Yeah, for sure. Probably Sir Heroscape, because I was just like always watching his stuff, and it just looked fun to like kind of like record a game, you know, because you're not gonna quite remember all of them. So it's kind of cool to like record one, right? So like literally record it, get it in the books, you know. So, you know, you record it and then you edit it later, and you know, you post it, and it's kind of just like whatever, kind of cool, I guess. And then I don't know, you're not really expecting. I was just doing it for fun, you know. And I did a top 10 squads and heroes. I did that. But the first one I did was like this, like kind of like custom game mode of like what was it? The like custom heroes, like superheroes. So there's like a custom Thanos, where you could like get all the stones. So I was like, dang, that would be sick. So I was like, let's film this. So we did like 2 of those, and then yeah, it's just fun, I guess.
Yeah,
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that you thought to yourself, okay, this seems like fun. This is something I'm passionate about. Let me pick up a camera and just try to do something, and that's really how a content creator is born from. And I can tell you try to put as much TLC in your work as you possibly can. So I mean that is recognized a bit. I mean, and when it comes to like the Heroscape stuff, I think was your most recent one like several months ago? I think that's where you were playing a game against your brother. Or did you have something a little bit more?
Yeah,
sooner?
it was. Yeah, it was when Age of Annihilation came out, and I was like, oh, cool. I was like, all right, Heroscape's kind of back, right? So I made like a Heroscape is back battle video, and like that aged well, kind of. At least the title. But that was a fun game, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the last one I did. I might do like maybe like a zombie video soon, because I just got a ton of those, so like that would be a fun video.
For sure. And any I think how to say it, like any like brainstorming for future like motivations for your channel?
Yeah, well, right now I'm working on another stop motion, and yeah, I have to like use somebody else's phone, so it's kind of like sparingly, kind of just like whenever they're around, I'm like, hey, can I like finish this up? They're like, okay, sure. So kind of whatever on that, and then I do have access to like a nice camera, and so I could like get my brother over, be like, hey, you want to like film like a Heroscape video, and he would just be like, yeah, he'd probably be like, yeah, that'll be fun. Or oh yeah, I also have like a 3-way battle. That was like my second to last one. That one was fun. Yeah, I guess stuff like that. It's kind of like, I don't know, like when I see a good opportunity, I'll take it to film it. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, absolutely. So okay, so the stop motion that you do, they're interesting battles, man. They're really, really good. What is a little bit about your process when putting all that stuff together? Do you write a script? Because I'm trying to remember if let me ask you, do you write a script for the action sequences that you do?
So I kind of have, well, no, I don't write a script for the exact action sequences and what kind of moves they're gonna make. I kind of like, I see it, I envision it kind of in my head, like, okay, so I know who's gonna win this battle, and I'll just try and make it like a cool battle, right? So I'll kind of like go with the flow a bit, but I do know like what kind of cool stuff I want to see. Like if I want like let's say like a plasma caster shot with like the plasma energy shot, and it like hits another predator in the face and like rips his mask off. Like that's something I'll think about and be like, all right, I'm gonna do that because I want to like, I guess like take off his mask so he looks cool underneath, right? So it's like kind of like a, I don't know, battle damage, figure. Or like another one is like with the aliens also, like with the face hugger or something. That's just obviously planned because I'm like, all right, I definitely need an alien in here, so facehugger's gotta get on somebody. So that's something that I'll like take into account. Yeah, they're so much fun. They're hard work though, and I can't imagine you were telling me how many pictures you took, which was 250,000, right?
Minimum. Yeah, it's more like probably over 300,000.
Yeah, that's just crazy to me. Like, oh man.
Yeah, it takes more than just not like using someone's phone. It takes a good DSLR.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
And like I would like to get set up like that. That would be cool. That's why I was like asking you and stuff. And thanks
For
for all
sure.
those tips that you were telling
Yeah,
me.
yeah, no,
So-
yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, anytime.
And then I just have a blast like editing that stuff. So putting in all the sound effects and all. It's just fun.
Right.
So I really love editing.
One thing I think I liked about your videos as well was the fact when it came to the stop motion ones that because what is very important for when you're just getting started too is that even if your image is not great and even if it's hard to understand things, if your sound is good, people are going to be a lot more open to anything else. As long as your sound comes in clear and you know you got good music and because for some reason people just perceive just distorted sound as just being just more disturbing. So as long as you have that down or working on that, and I appreciate the fact that you're using sound effects to those. And I mean, it's like right now when I'm working on these last 3 episodes of season 3, what I'm starting to work on these next few weeks is sound effects, and a major chunk is just the miniatures just moving, just little movement effects. A lot of it probably been picked up by the human ear, but at least it's there so subconsciously they know it fits into
Like steps.
environment. Yeah, just like steps or just even like little movements. Because not really so much steps because it doesn't work for like Heroscape miniatures because they're on a base. But it's still just like a little bit of motion. There's just a little bit of sound that I've altered that I've made into movement steps. And I think it's actually the sound of like a cloth being slapped or something like that. But it's just got a certain way of of sounding that it just adds to the atmosphere. And actually, and that's one thing I would actually say if you add like it's not atmosphere, it's like background sound. Oh come on, what's the word? I lost the word.
Oh yeah, I think
Because the atmosphere, ambient sound, yeah, some type of ambient sound in the background would probably help smooth things over and make everything fit in its environment as well. Now, what was I going to ask? Did you like when it came to your animations? Were you learning all that as you go? Did you look up any like tutorials for stop motion animation, or were you just like, I'm just going to try and do this and see what works?
Yeah, it was so the first one I filmed, I kind of was like, okay, this may be kind of fun. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm gonna try this out, right? It was kind of like I kind of planned on like taking the figures where I went, and then like yeah, and then I kind of just filmed it. And it's kind of random. It's like in like random spots around like that and around the house. And no, I didn't really look up any videos. I just literally looked on like the app store and I found like Stop Motion Studio was like the highest one. So and then it gives you like that the frame before. So you take a frame and then like your next it'll show you like what you moved so far like on your frame or like how far it is or like just in case if the figure falls you can like put it back up into that spot, right? So it's really helpful. And no, I didn't really look up any videos on how to do like good stop motion. I just kind of like jumped into it and kind of like learned as I went. And with actually the second one I made, oh, that was tough. I filmed all of it and I was gonna like get ready. I just was like about to finish it, and I think like the phone died while I was like on the app. And so I opened the phone back up and I went to the thing and like it was just gone, like the project. So I was like, oh no. And I was like,
yeah, that always hurts.
That just hurt me.
Yep.
So I was like, so then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to do it again. So it took me a while, and but I was like, okay, I need to make it better than like the last one, because if it's a redo, I mean, it just has to be better. So I made like the action sequences like a little better, and then that was actually my most viewed video. It got like 24,000 views, so
Right.
it was worth it in the end, which was cool. I was able to entertain some people.
For sure. Yeah, no, and I'd say, I mean, to anybody out there, and I've given this advice to a few people who just want to do something, and it's like, oh, but I need this, I need that, I need to study this, I need to do that. I'm just like, yeah, but you're spending so much time bogged up in what you want to do. Why don't you just go do it with whatever resources you have, and then learn as you go. So yeah, kudos to you for that. And just real quick, we got Valiant Thor commenting on the live stream chat from YouTube, says at work, in quotations, saving the world, random channel surfing. Valiant Thor, welcome to the ToV Podcast live, says watching from Los Alamos National Laboratory, LNAL Isotope Production Facility. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for commenting, Valiant Thor. I love that name.
That's New Mexico, right?
I believe so.
Hey, that's me. I'm in New Mexico, man. What's up?
Sweet,
Nice.
sweet. And we got Marion commenting on the chat too from Honduras. So we're a multi country viewing right now here on the live stream. But yeah, thank you, Valiant Thor. I love that name. We have Thor commenting on our channel tonight. How is that?
No, that's like very fitting name for Heroscape.
An honor. Yeah, they filmed that first Thor movie in New Mexico, so that's fitting.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Anyway, okay. So anything else we want to talk about with Dom over this, because I think it's kind of important. And now, Dom, I don't know what future plans is. I mean, I might encourage you to like try your own bit of stop motion on Heroscape miniatures if you got them, because I mean one thing that led me into doing stop motion with Heroscape miniatures was the fact that it came with its own terrain. So there you go. You already have the setting that you could build into whatever you want, change locations, destinations, whatever. And you didn't have to worry about building a set from scratch. You already have it.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Building
sets.
it can get complicated and expensive. Not that Heroscape terrain is like dirt cheap, but I mean it's certainly better than the alternative of just trying to figure. And it saves you time as well, and it looks good in the camera. So I mean that affected some of my decisions when it came to deciding to use Heroscape as my medium of storytelling for this space and time. But no, I mean, so what I think is important though is that everybody like either spreading Heroscape or, and Valiant Thor says, have a blessed and productive night. Thank you so much, Valiant Thor. Hopefully you can like join us and chat some other time in the future. Appreciate having you. When it affects like the influence of not just Heroscape but as well as pop culture, even though we are a small niche, I'm gonna say small, a very tiny little speck, a niche of pop culture. I'm motivated to try and be as much as an influence I can be for that, to inspire people to play the game. And the one thing that really inspires me sometimes is hearing from like I don't see Kaitsuki commenting in the chat, but I'm sure he'll show up like either now or sometime in the future. But he's a dad. There are other dads that I know. It's like, look, I watched your YouTube channel. I saw these things, and now I'm playing this game with my kids. That builds families right there. That is very powerful. that was a big, especially like I've had like a difficult time the past few years. That's one thing that kept me going. So in order to inspire others, either A, to do their own content to help inspire others, or just to simply play with their family, play Heroscape with their family, or do things with their family, come together. So that was always a motivator for me, and I hope like for you too. And if not, maybe it's something that will propel you forward in the future as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I never really thought about it like that, but yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Well, you are kind of young, my goodness, 18 years old. Hi, Jason. We've been around, going around the sun a little too long, haven't we?
A little bit. It's like the time passes really fast, especially when you kind of look back in the last 20 years of my life, like, oh wow, that went by a lot faster than I thought it would.
That all happened.
Man.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's great to link up with others. Yeah, and any other thoughts before shutting down this conversation and before we move on to the main topic tonight?
So I got one kind of production question for you. Like with the Predator stuff, the stop motion Predator things you're doing, are you using like off the shelf action figures for those kind of things?
Yeah. So I started with like let's see, a couple that I already had. And then like one I just got for, I don't know, it was like Christmas or something. So usually I'll like ask for these for like, since I'm still a kid, I'm like, all right, cool. I can get these through like my birthday or like Christmas or something. And then I can or I can just buy one. And, but yeah, I already had some. I have like a pretty good collection of them. So I was like, all right, well, I don't really do anything with these. So like it'd be fun to like put them to use and like do like a cool little story with them. Because I have like the editing abilities to do it, and then I'll just like, I guess, continue to get better at the stop motion part of it. But yeah, sometimes I'll see like a cool one and I'll be like, man, that one would be sick to have in the video. So like, yeah, that's kind of how that goes.
Like, are they kind of finicky to work with, or do you have any like fun little tricks that you've figured out how to better utilize action figures as like stop motion animation things?
Like, are you talking about like the articulation of them, or
Yeah.
like?
It's like how you articulate them, how you balance them without falling over in weird poses and things, or
It's just kind of like, it's sometimes it's a bit of a pain, because like, if I have a bunch of them, which my new one I'm making right now, I had like a ton up at one time, and like if one of them falls, like it's gonna knock all of them down, and like. It's just kind of sad. See, but luckily you do have like that ghost shot, so you can put them back up, and they're a little like, how do you say it? Like, I don't know, not very articulate. Like they're a little stiff, I guess, but not like to a point of not being able to make some cool scenes. You can still get the point across. Like, oh, he's slicing this dude with his wrist blades, and this guy's throwing his smart disc, and all that cool stuff. And yeah, it's just it's like a game of patience for sure. And then and then I use to make it like more. In my first video I didn't have anything like to show like any blood or anything like that, but in my second one and like from there on out, I use like Play-Doh, so I use like red Play-Doh, and then for the Predators like the neon green like Play-Doh. And it's pretty cool. It works out.
My compliments on the gore, yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
No, I love that. I had I grew up with mainly was Predator and Predators, and we watched them all as a kid.
Oh yeah.
And I have I think it's from AVP. But I have one of those like figures. It was probably like one of my favorite action figures for like the longest time. And yeah, they are stiff. They're not like they. I always had a problem with their feet because you stand them up. They're action figures.
Yeah.
But like, and then you walk away and you like walk back 2 minutes later and it's on the ground.
Yeah, you're like,
Because the
dang.
feet are not, they're thin. They try to make accurate as possible, but they don't. They're supposed to go into stands.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you gotta bend their knees and like make sure like counterbalance all of them, and you wind up getting a good pose, but it takes a few to get it, because like
yeah,
even
exactly. And then
because I have a lot of Transformers, and I try that with them too, and it's like trying to get that right pose and the right trying to mimic a certain pose you see in the movies, and it's just like
oh yeah, it's pretty cool and fun. Yeah.
yeah. No, I was on Silent. I had the Predator versus Bruce Lee one.
Oh yeah.
And you had him pull out of an egg carton. It was so awesome. I don't know what the story context for that was, but I want to go back and find out. But that was fun. That's cool.
Yeah, that was a good part where he threw him into the spot, and then that one was fun. I had fun with that one because like I wasn't trying to make it like some realistic backdrop. I just kind of threw some foam blocks and like some random stuff, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna like throw him through a bunch of walls and stuff.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
That one was I think that one was the only one where I did it in one sitting. So I sat down and I just did the whole entire thing.
Wow.
I was so tired afterwards. I was like, oh, I gotta go to bed. It was like 3 a.m. or something.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
Good on you for having that vision and being say, you know what, I want to do this. Let's do this.
And then completing it too. Because some I'm just going to say kids because that's what y'all are. Some kids might just say, oh, I'm going to start doing this. And then they don't, follow through. And so good for you to follow through and till the very end until it's done and complete. Because
thank you.
Yeah, you'll find not many people do that.
No, so they'll have an idea for like 4 years and say, yeah, I'm gonna go do it as soon as I get the help. What help?
As soon as
something,
something.
Ask for it, and there will people be out there to help you. But otherwise, if you can't find the help, you make sure you start working on it. You do it. Get it done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
that's kind of my mindset. I'd say too is like, just go get it done. Like if you're not gonna do it now, like when are you gonna do it?
Exactly. And I'm sure even being at school, if you're on summer break or spring break, you got a lot of time. You have a lot of time on your hands, so use that time wisely and do the things that you love. And these definitely feel like awesome passion projects, especially if you're doing it in one night. Do you remember how long it took you? Was it like at least 6 hours?
I think it was like 6 hours, yeah. And I was just like, the thing with stop motion is it's kind of nice because you can throw some music on because you don't have to
worry about audio. Yeah,
you don't have to worry about audio.
It's all basically Foleyed or just whatever you want.
Just throw some music on and just get her done.
Get her done.
With, like, filming other things. Where, like, let's say you're gonna speak and all that, because I've filmed a lot of like videos, other types of videos where you can't really, it's not stop motion, so, obviously you can't be listening to music. You got to be focused and like, it's a different arena. Stop motion is interesting. I was like, I knew it was gonna be hard, but yeah,
it's very time consuming. Yes.
Yeah.
Well. I'd say that we will wrap up on this discussion then. And what an interesting discussion it was. I mean, everything from like the details on how things are done with your channel, Dom Predator, and how you got started to being kind of inspirational near the end. I'm almost tearing up. It's very cool, and I loved how Joe ended it there. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah, good comments. Thank you guys.
Keep it up. You got this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So for this segment, again, I don't know if I'm going to edit this. I might end up putting it together. But so we're just going to end this segment, and this being the first of, well, it's basically an interview, a guest interview, a segment with Dom Predator 77. Please check out his channel, see what he's all about. Give him some compliments for his hard work, and subscribe to him. Show him
I
some
have like
support.
tons of videos. There's like a ton of random stuff on there, so you should probably go to my playlist.
Go to the
if you wanna,
playlist if you want to
go
look
to
at
the
some
playlist.
Heroscape or see some Heroscape or
Yeah.
stop motion stuff for sure. For sure. All right, so we will end that segment then, and now we move on to the main segment, which all I have to do. What would I have to do, Joe?
Stop speaking.
Okay, Heroscape Adventure. There. Okay, I introduced it, and people are like, "What is that?" And now it's up to you,
It
Joe.
sounds so rude, but it's like you you just keep going.
What's that?
You're hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm
Wait.
excited to hear this. This
Yeah.
sounds cool.
So no,
I'm gonna set up. I made a PowerPoint.
awesome.
So-
Alright.
I know. I saw you take a photo of it. Should I put your
I'm
window?
gonna put it on
expand
my
the window?
screen, then you make my screen bigger.
I'll make your screen bigger. Sounds good. I'll just
So
do
I'm
that.
just gonna make sure that I switch to the right screen. I think it's one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, do I have to recrop it? Don't make me recrop it. Give me 1 second.
So we're gonna take a look at this. All right, we have
I gotta recrop.
and okay. Look at see if anybody else in the chat. No, and okay. Here I'm just gonna do just
Not on this page. This is spoilers.
Spoilers.
This
I'm
page.
just going to take a look at the integrity of the stream. Everything looks good. All right. All right, here's give it. Okay, you got it. All right. So, yes, JoeCrazy, you are up to something, sir.
All right, good. All right.
Yes. What are we doing here?
Heroscape Adventure. This is an idea that came to me, mostly from, I think, my inspiration from my friend group. You know, we've played D&D. We love Heroscape, and you know, especially with my girlfriend, she doesn't. She's the only one out of the friend group that doesn't play D&D, and I want to bring that experience to you know, to her. You know, being able to a game light experience that tells a story, and being able to, you know, roll initiatives and go battle and then have a purpose for that battle. Then I didn't want to make it too complicated. Obviously, you know, if you're familiar with D&D, you got paperwork, you got to do a lot of math, all this dice with a bunch of new numbers, and it's all different shapes, and it's complicated, you know, for some of those. So I wanted to get an answer to that. And for me, I like making up games. I like making up new stuff. So I figured, you know what? Heroscape, which was the D&D experience, but I think it's more marketable to call it the Heroscape Adventure. So, wrong page. Here we go.
Drum roll.
What do you mean, no? What do you mean the page isn't responding?
Oh, we fell
Technical
flat.
difficulties?
Technical difficulties, people. Technical difficulties.
You go to the next page right now.
It's okay, Joe. It's okay.
There he goes. Oh my god, really? You're gonna give me a problem right
It
now.
doesn't want to give any spoilers.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure it isn't being controlled by an AI, you know, chatbot, and it's like saying, no, Joe, you cannot
That
reveal
is-
this yet.
You haven't gotten a patent on
Exit
it yet.
page.
This page isn't responding.
That's weird.
I'm just trying to do a troubleshooting thing here.
Okay.
Whoop.
I've had this page open all day.
So this is a power.
And
This
I've
is, this
tested
is, this
it
is on
multiple
PowerPoint
times.
itself, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Should probably work now, I'm guessing.
I'm hoping. Crossing fingers. Everyone cross their fingers in the chat. There we go. All right.
Yay! All right.
The
Hey,
purpose.
Ashidulu, my boy.
The purpose.
Oh, look at that
It's
guy.
team oriented. There's no stress. And when I say mean team oriented, it means that when you get down and sit down, it is a 1v3, 1v4, 1v5. However many people you want to be as the party. So when you're playing, usually I'm the game master, right? So, use me as an example, and then let's say you as the audience as the example as the party. When you're playing with your friends on the same team, you want to make sure that you pick characters and you work together to accomplish whatever goal I throw at you. So for example, this was part of the party. We had Sonlin, we had a healer, then you had Ashidulu as to take out all of the commons, take out all the easy grubblies, eat them up, chomp, chomp, chomp.
Yeah.
And then you had, well, I can't remember his name. Well, I can never remember. All I know is we call him Bruce Wingus. If you guys remember from Utz Cup, we call him Bruce Wingus. I can't think of his.
Oh, I forgot.
Someone
his
call it
name
out.
Too. Oh.
Isn't it?
Tell me in the chat right now. I need to know.
Aquafa or something like that?
Adlaga.
Atlaga, the Cowering Warrior.
Right.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then you got some range with Atlaga. So, what's really cool is you take all these characters, you make them work together. And of course, like I said, it's no stress. This is a casual experience for Heroscape. This isn't, you're getting away from the meta. You're getting away from, the stress of building an army and making sure what the compositions of it. You take a character, you play with that character, and just no reason to sweat over it. It's not a no sweat game. And like I was talking about earlier, no paperwork. The only paperwork you got is the one card you got to deal with, the one card you pick. Otherwise, you're playing Heroscape. That's it. So no need to buy a new game. You already got Heroscape at home, unless you don't, and then that point is completely out of the picture. But I assume majority of you that are watching this, that are interested in this, do have Heroscape, and so you have everything you need. So the gameplay. What is the gameplay? What am I changing? What am I doing differently? Not much, actually. You don't have to. Literally, the way I'm explaining this right now is the way you can play it. So you're playing Heroscape. So as the party, you get one set of order markers. So you get a 1, a 2, and a 3, and then the X. Obviously, in this X, isn't to bluff me, the game master. I'm gonna know exactly who you have your order markers on. For the most part, not entirely, because I have a lot to manage, so I may not know your 1, 2, or 3. But you're not really throwing me with the X. The X could still be used for another gameplay mechanic that I could just come up with on the fly, or it could come use, like, for example, Siege. Siege is a character that uses the X order marker for his Crag of Steel. Crag of Steel. So it's still useful. Or it could be for the 4th player. We just the example that I'm showing you, seeing all the pictures from today. We actually had 5? Yeah, 5 people we played, and so obviously there was a 1, 2, 3, an X, and then another 1 and a 2, or another 1, and so it doesn't really matter how many players you have, but I do recommend starting with just 3 players and then working your way around. This is the second time I've play tested this. So you get one set of order markers, the 1, 2, 3, and the X, and you have your players roll the initiative for who's going to get the 1, 2, or 3. So if you're familiar with D&D, when you enter a battle, you roll for initiative. Your game master, your dungeon master will go, hey, roll for initiative, you're about to get into battle. And you go, oh, snap, here we go again. So you roll for initiative, you put out the order markers, say, hey, I got the, roll for initiative, normal things, right? Whoever has the highest will get the 1, lowest, second to highest 2, and so on. And so each of the players will get their order markers, and then in between all of their order markers, the dungeon master or game master will go and take their turn with whatever units they have on the battlefield. So that's the only thing that I'm really changing. That is the core game there. Obviously, I've added other things to the game for add-ons. For example, I was playing with a horde of army of Maro, and so I had brought in the custom unit Maro Nids. Now, if you're not familiar with the Maro Nids, they have an ability that if they get a wound on you, they can latch themselves onto the player, and they become slower and weaker. But there's no way in the game, the base game, to get them off of you. And I think that would be really dumb that you could have this character be on you this entire time and then you're walking around and there's no way to get them off. So I think, you know what? Have them before rolling or before revealing or after revealing the order marker. I told them that you can roll a 17 or higher to grab the Nid and try to rip them off. Plus, if you have, depending on how many players you have adjacent to you, that will add 1 to the die roll. So if you roll, let's say you have someone with the Nid on, and you have 2 players next to you, and you roll a 15, then yeah, you can get the Nid off, because you have help from your team to pull the Nid off. So little things like that will help you, drive an interest for your players to bring something different. Other thing that I was adding is I have a bunch of barrels from High Ground. Every time I ordered something from them, they would give you a little bit of little barrels or a chest. And so I placed them around the board in different areas, and I said, hey, you can go up to these and break them. And there would be loot in them to add. And so how am I going to deal with getting loot? Well, I gave them pockets. I should have put a picture of the card, but I think we all know what the Heroscape card looks like, right? So there's notches in the Heroscape card. Each of the within the shape of that hex, there are different notches. So I said, I think, is it on this page? Yes. So just to skip over a little bit, the notches. 1 second. Oh, that did shut off? I thought it was an audio issue, sorry.
No. You all right? Joe?
Okay. So the pockets. So each of the cards will have these different shapes. And I said, based on your size, is how many you can hold. So this is for small, you get 2. Medium 3, large 4. Okay. Initiative. Order of play. I had just explained that earlier. Loot. There's actually big barrels and small barrels, as you can see in the picture. And then there's campfires. The campfires are interesting. Those are also from High Ground, if you're wondering. These are not required things. Anything, all the loot, the pockets, I think, is required. But when it comes to the barrels and the campfires, those are not required. So you can get these things later on or replace them with other objects. These are good ideas for this adventure to keep moving. Give your players motive to keep moving through the play space. But the campfires are interesting. Is that I told the players that if you walk up and be adjacent to them and reveal a numbered order marker adjacent to the campfire, you get to heal 1 wound. So it's like a rest spot, a checkpoint, you might say. Mm-hmm. And so they can sit there for 2 to 3, rounds and rest. Because like in D&D, you rest and you heal. So I thought that was a really fun, engaging way with the environment to keep the players, because instead, just in case if they don't take a healer, I wanted to make sure that they have something to heal You know, I mean, even even if they get a barrel and I give them a glyph that will heal them. But I wanted to make sure that no matter what situation they were in, there was always something that they can go to make sure that they can keep playing. I don't want anyone. My intention as the game master is to keep them alive, and keep the game fun for them to keep moving forward. I don't want to discourage them and be like, oh, I'm gonna kick your butt, and then it's just, you know, and they die in the first round or so, and that's not fun. So, all right, the party. So I said to my players, I said to make this party, unique heroes only. They have to be small, medium, or large, no huge. And collectively, they had 500 points to play in. It doesn't have to be 500 points exactly. They could if they wanted to. And this is based on if you have, you know, 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, 5 players. I think for this one, this party was, I think I gave them 600 because there was like 5 people involved. So I gave them a little bit more. But start with 500 collectively. You know, you don't want to give them too much power, but you want to give them enough power and freedom for them to choose pretty much whatever characters they wanted. And like I said before, 1 set of water markers for them to share. So for this party, we had Manuvi, Atlaga, Sergeant Drake, Swarm of the Morrow, Ashi Dulu, and Sonlin. These guys did a fantastic job. I think that was a pretty good army. A party, I would say, an odd group of characters for sure, especially Ashi Dulu.
It gives a D&D type quality, though.
Are.
It gives a D&D type quality to it.
Yeah, no, my buddy Glenn painted that one. Came out absolutely fantastic.
Red mouth. Sick.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh yeah, well he's a huge fan of Dune, so he took like as much inspiration as possible.
Oh sure, yep. Oh my goodness.
To make that as cool as possible. I mean, it's probably my favorite paint job of his.
For sure.
It's amazing.
That's a good one.
But yeah, so this was their party to deal with that they had good, solid. They did a good job with them. I think they all had they had speed from Manuvi. They had the range from both Sergeant Drake and Atlaga. Sonlin had, of course, the dragon swoop and be able to heal. And Ashi Dooley going through the ground and taking out as many gobblies as possible. So it was a good combo. They did a good job with that. The Game Master. So that was a picture of all the stuff I could throw at them. I didn't throw all of that at them. I want to make this clear. These are all the possible options I wanted to throw at them. They never got to see dividers. They never got to see contour na or toolbox or not toolbox, right? Tolkol na. But they did see Nagrubs, the Mara Warriors, Meeburg Saw, Sagarin Raider. They saw. Who else did they see? Oh, they said the Nids. I want to throw that at them. No, go back. At some point during the event, I had stuck some Nagrubs underneath some rocks, and I said to myself, this was a trigger. If they had killed one of the Nagrubs, and as the game master, you want to control the flow of the game. So one way for me to do this, and if you're new to being a DM or game master, which I have never been, I've played D&D a couple times. I've only been a player. I've never been a game master. And so if you're interested in becoming a game master or DM, this is a great start for you. Because what I did was, at the end of every round, right before they start to do their move, because I always let the party go first. The party would go first, and then I would go as the game master, then the party, and then go back and forth. And of course, they would re-roll for initiative at the start of every round. So it kept the flow of game interesting for them. It wasn't a repetitive, oh, Glenn goes first, up, then Jill, then Michaela, over and over and over again. So it was always different. But so to go back, so they killed in a grub, and so at the end of the start of the next round, I told them, I was like, and I said, oh, you heard this echo, and I described, that there was this echo and there's a wave in the from the ocean, or this lake that was there. You build this little environment story that's happening, and then once they wind up killing another Nagrub, and then right at that moment, mid game, I spawned Musagan, and they had to deal with that. And so these are the fun things that kind of surprise. You have to surprise them as well, because as the game master, you gotta throw things at them. Like I said, I threw the nids at them. I threw. I actually did have Tubok route up there. I did throw some divide. Did I throw dividers? I think I did throw dividers at them. I don't remember. This was 2 weeks ago. But I did have, and I'll talk about this a little bit more in my own video about it. But I did have custom Morrow stuff then that I had designed specifically for this. But yeah, so the basic story that I had given the guys to the party was that they were contracted by Sergeant Drake Alexander, which was funny because they had Sergeant Drake in the party. So he was the team leader. I told him that he was the team leader. He had contracted this team together. They had to go save and grab a device to go find Wellsprings. Janitor had told them that they wanted to go find the new Wellsprings. This is so funny how this ties into the journal today. And they had to go find a device that could search for Wellsprings. And so they had to travel through the city. I think I have a... Do I have a picture? No, it's not. There, yeah. So they had to travel through all of this.
That's cool.
All of this to get to the city to go find the device. So they can go through the mountain, they can go through the jungle, and of course they can jump in between any of those areas to go deal with whatever. Did they want to deal with the stingers up top, or they deal with the Mar warriors and the nids? So they had to get there.
Paper
Was that
water? Is that like...
Oh, yeah. So this is a custom mat that I had ordered from a guy from the community. His name is Brian Baird. He was putting out orders, and I had ordered 2 mats, and both of them were water. So I put them together and built the map on top.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Now, you could also get them in grass as well, but I figured I'd use the water more often, so I got water. If he does another order, gets enough people to get enough orders, I will probably get 2 grass ones for other games and other events and stuff
so
like that.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That way you could do like a ship battle in the water.
Absolutely, yeah. And I told them, because they asked me like, can we go in the water? I'm like, yeah, you can go in the water. There's hexes, right? So I figured if they went too far, I would have threw the Fen Hydra at them.
There you go.
So
yeah, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point too. If it's hard to see, but behind the mountain, our buddy Matt had taken Manuvi and had dropped himself into the water, to drop down easier, but then didn't realize he had to take literally 3 rounds, to get himself back to land because there was 3 spaces of water. So he was stuck over there for a while, and it was. Made the game a little bit longer, but it was okay.
Taking a swim,
Yeah. So yeah, you just got to make sure that they have a fun time as the game master. So extra things that I wanted to say about this is be creative. There's a lot of custom terrain that I have that I don't normally use for my battles because on Virtual Escape, where I designed this map entirely, and then I of course had to take another like hour or so to put down all the custom stuff. For example, you can see some 3D printed floating pillars back there. There's some rock formations trying to hold up the stone mountain. You can see the bridge right in front of you. And there's a little chest, the high ground chest, which they never opened up the chest. I don't even know if they knew it there. So if there's anything about being creative, hide. Make it a mystery. Hide stuff. Make them get up. You're not. I think I said this to one of the guys when I went to a tournament in Maryland. I said it's like you're not playing Heroscape if you're not standing. If you don't get up at some point to look around the map to go find something, you're not playing Heroscape.
This is true.
Get a better view of the map.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to know what's going on. It can't be just
It's
standing
almost
there
like
not knowing.
It's almost like turning the sound down in your vehicle to like see where to turn next when driving. You know.
Yeah.
There's no reason to really do it, but somehow it just makes things feel better. You know. I don't.
Absolutely. Yeah, so when I say size doesn't matter, this is the size of the map. You know, you could make, if you don't have a lot of terrain, that's fine. Do something small. You know, you don't need this, you don't need to expand the world. And when I say expand the world, I do mean like, you know, make sure that, you know, expand your own world. You don't have to follow the lore of Heroscape itself. Make up whatever story you want. Expand your own world. Make up your own story. I do want to do a live stream sometime either this week or next to design my next adventure that I will hopefully be filming. And it's going to be a lot smaller, be half the size of this. Because this took us, because I wanted to make sure we finished it. I think it took us about 4 hours to play. Mm-hmm. And you know that's kind of long for us because we're old people. And we work, and so we you know we're tired. I mean, I wasn't,
Mister. I just stepped into my 30s. You know.
But yeah, so make the map that you want. Tell the story that you want. And like I said, you know, if this portion of the video that Ryan splits up gets 25 likes, okay, I will make a full detailed video of my entire experience, talking about this particular adventure and how I put it all together. You know, you could see the map that I made, and I could talk about it, and I could even do, like I said, probably do a live stream about this as well. But you know, if this is something that people are interested in, I'll do more of these. This is my second playthrough for this Heroscape Adventure, you know, and I want to do more of these. I want to try out making, you know, an experience that's easy, fun, you know, less stress. You know, I like playing competitively. I do. I go to tournaments. I drove 3 hours last weekend, just to get there, just to get to Maryland, and I got to do 3 hours back. And I think I might be doing it again in April, later in the month. So I want to play competitively, but you know, for those members of my friend group that don't take it as seriously as I do, and want a more fun and story-oriented thing, then the Heroscape Adventure is for you. Sure. But like I said, this video portion gets 25 likes. I'll make a full detailed video sooner than later. I will eventually do it. But if it shows the love, I will do it sooner than later. But if you guys have any questions, this is the time.
For sure. And I just want to say, Rogue Idealist in the comments says, I imagine treasure glyphs would work great with this format.
Exactly. Well, I hid them in the barrels.
There you go.
So I wouldn't have them do traps. If I wanted to set a trap, I could. I have not done that yet, but I've been hiding them in the barrels. So even if it's a power glyph or a treasure glyph, I would actually, you know, do the game master thing and, you know, roll the d20 and determine, you know, to give them a certain glyph, or just give them the one that I think they should need. For example, Ocean Strider is the treasure glyph that we love and adore. It's a meme in the group. So, because it's really not ever useful in a game of competitive Heroscape, but but in this it would be. So I made sure that was like the first glyph that they got. So if they wanted to, they could use it. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, that probably went to Matt, right? No, it didn't. It didn't go to Matt. If I go back to the first image here, so real quick, Matt and Eric, which was Manuvi and Sergeant Drake, they took the mountain and go to kill the stingers, and they moved around that way. Where Glenn, Michaela, and Jill, both at Laga, Ashidulu, and Sonlin took the jungle route. So they split up already, which I thought was a horrible idea. It was fun to watch, but a horrible idea.
Never do that in a horror movie setting, Don't split up.
Manuvi, I was on the verge of dying for like the longest time, and I said, "Hey, you can go back at the campfire, or you can have Sonlin, meet up and heal you." And they're like, "Nah, man, I gotta keep going. Okay, okay.
And that's the fun of making the choices of that type of thing too.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the simple way that this is presented. Now, Joe, one thing I want to ask before
that's what I'm here for.
Anybody else, if you have any questions too, feel free. But are you going to plan to write a rulebook? I mean, I don't think you need to write too much, but it's always good to have like some type of structure for people just getting started.
Absolutely. Like I said, if there is a full interest in this, next to me making an entire explanation video, because I find explaining things through either PowerPoint or through video format way easier for me. I have written. It's not my first thing. My first instinct is to write. But I will. I mean, I have a bunch of notes. I did write a bunch of stuff to essentially plan out the adventure, all the different rules and things I did. So yes, I would absolutely put something together for people to either download as a PDF on heroscapers.com, so they can take a look at that and essentially do their own, and take all the feedback that I give them. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Okay. Any other questions from you guys?
I'll keep an eye on it. I mean, it looks super interesting. I need to get back into playing Heroscape. I haven't had a chance in a couple of months, but with the new year and everything. But yeah, I would love to try this out with my small little group I started forming here. See if we can give you some feedback. No promises though, because I gotta plan it. But yeah, no, it looks really
No,
cool.
sure. And look, when I say planning, it's not if you're familiar with D&D, do not do the same planning as that. No. No, when I say planning, all I did was look what I told you before. I said all they had to do was go to the other side. And I figured, all right. And they're like, once they got there, like, oh, what do we do? I was like, oh, just go to the ruins and search and roll a d20, and depending on a certain number that I made up in my head at that moment, then they would get the thing that they needed. So like I said, I think the hardest thing is to make the play space. Mm-hmm. Plan that out. Either use virtual escape, which I think is the easiest thing to use.
Absolutely.
To make some kind of linear experience for them to travel through. I think designing that is the toughest part, but it's also, I think, just as fun as playing. I love building maps. I'm not making something super competitive, but I'm still making something that's, not too difficult to trudge through, but also not,
it looks
too
fun.
easy to deal with.
It looks fun.
Yeah, it looks like a fun map. It's really cool. It's just like aesthetically pleasing too. You got like all the like different. You got sand, jungle, and then you got like the mountain rock, and then the road. Yeah, it's real nice.
And where you go, I mean, challenges you, and so you have to make decisions. Not make your decisions carefully, but you do have to make decisions, and that will determine the outcome of the game. Rogue Idealist also is asking, I don't know if I missed it, but you probably didn't, Rogue Idealist, because I didn't hear it either. What happens if a character dies?
So there was a scenario where Ashidulu pretty much did die. Mm-hmm. And so he was fighting the custom Mara structure in the bottom corner here, and I did wind up rolling something. I didn't realize that I had rolled something. I said, "All right, you got a wound," and he said, "Oh, I'm down. I'm dead." I'm like, "Oh, really? Oh, okay. You just go down, but not out. You have to have, a player come by, and try to patch you up, and we'll roll a d20, or if Sonlin can heal you, you can get back up with half health." Ashidulu, I believe, has 4 life, so I gave him 2 life instead of the just normal 1. And so it's, as a game master, you gotta have to, roll with those punches.
Right.
The idea for a character to actually die, I don't want to play, even though they were close to the end, but to have them then not play the entire time, that's boring. That's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you just gotta kind of keep rolling. There's times, I remember the first event that we did, there were multiple occasions that I rolled real nice, okay, with the attack die, real nice, and they did not, and I lied. I said, "Oh no, you got him," or "Oh, it was only okay, good, you're safe, you're not," because here's the other thing I didn't mention. I'm sorry. If you go here, I didn't put it in a big picture. You see this cardboard that I have up in the corner here?
Right.
I have a giant cardboard wall behind everything. They don't know what I have behind here. They don't even know what I roll. I don't even tell them what I roll. I just tell them if they get a wound or not. That's the other part of this that gives it the more D&D experience. They don't know what's coming next.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah.
Joe, to kind of highlight that experience, you're actually incorporating one of the fundamental rules of tabletop role-playing is you don't have to go by the dice roll.
Exactly.
Like that, what you're doing and what you've explained is actually, they mentioned that in every book I've ever read about tabletop, you do not have to use the rules 100% because you are there to have fun, you are there to tell a story with a group of friends, and sometimes math will be against that storytelling, but if it's good for the story, make it up. It's so much more fun that way. Everyone gets to have a great time, and let me tell you, they'll be talking about this game for years to come.
Yeah.
If you give them a chance to finish the story. So don't rush to kill everybody. I'll tell you, you'll have a lot more fun giving them a couple chances. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was the only thing. If I think when Jill played this both times, she hated that. She hated not knowing. and she, like I said, she was the only one out of the friend group that has never played D&D, so she doesn't understand being on the other side. Because when we played, Matt, our buddy Matt was our DM, and we're like, oh shoot, he just picked up a bunch of dice. You can hear him like chuggling the dice. Oh shit, what did he just roll? What did he roll? Like, what's happening next? And so yeah, so like I said, sometimes dice can be not in your favor. I've never lied in the sense that I got more attack die or more defense die and I wanted the character to live. I pretty much let them kill stuff for the most part. I think in the future I might make things a bit more buff. Like, for example, like the pockets rule. I never used the pockets rule for my characters. I didn't give them extra glyphs, extra powers, but it's something you still can do as the game master. Use some of those rules that I've implemented. If I wanted Wusaga to not die in one shot like he did in that game, I could have said no. I could have said at one point, oh, no, he defended it. He blocked that. But I figured I was testing the idea of the flow of battle. This is the second time I've done it. So I'm still getting used to being the game master, but I think it's a really good way to get people into wanting to be the game master, to kind of have a simple way of starting. Because you know how to play Heroscape. You know the ins and outs. You know the characters. Because that was the other thing, too. It's like, if they didn't know what Wusaga did, or they didn't know that Tubok Ra teleported, I didn't tell them I'm using teleport. I just put him there. So especially with, I mean, the NIDs. I said, I was like, oh, the NID grabbed onto you, and then they asked, like, how do I get this off? Then I explained it to them. But, I'm not telling them what I roll. I don't tell them what the defense is, But, so I left information out. That's kind of the other thing that kind of makes this a bit different than just playing a normal game of Heroscape. Of course, the order markers. I used the order markers of the track stuff to make sure I had enough rounds. But, like, I would put the 1, 2, or 3 on whatever, like, mid-game. So, like I said, like Jeremy said, like, you don't follow the rules, as much as the game has. You just want to make sure they have a fun time, which they did. Both times I've play tested this stuff, everybody keeps saying they had a fun time. So,
and I think it's about establishing a fun narrative for the players too, because the only time I've played anything close to this was Pathfinder, and I think Jason remembers, and this was a while ago. The only time I've ever played a game like this was Pathfinder, and the gentleman who was the DM for that, he never, I don't think he ever really explained, okay, this is the dice roll you have, or this is the outcome of this. He just continued telling the story of what your character's doing, how they're interacting with the environment, and what is the outcome of whatever decision you made. I mean, we did all the numbers. We rolled the dice or whatever we did for whatever outcome of decisions we were going to make. But I don't think he ever said, okay, you got this number, so this is what. He wasn't really technical. More, he was, in a sense, controlling the narrative or establishing the narrative to get you emotionally invested
exactly
in the story. So I caught on to that, and that was fun. That I still remember it. It's been almost 10 years now, I think. I still remember how fun that was. And I'm losing my voice, so someone please continue for me.
Yeah, what else you got for me? You guys interested questions information that I might have missed or something you're confused about?
I think it's a good foundation, and definitely would be interested in seeing more playthroughs and kind of just more experiences in this setting, and then of course feedback of when people have that feedback and they're like, oh hey, what about this, and then you just build off of that. It's gonna be cool to see in the future. I'm excited to see more.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I know there are people within this community that have and are working on more D&D experiences for Heroscape, but every time I've ever seen their articles on it, they've changed the game almost entirely. New cards, new character sheets, and it's like, I don't want that. I don't want to go download. I don't want to print anything out. You don't have to. There's no simple printing. Yeah. There's no filling out of a sheet. There's no other paperwork. It's you pull out the cards, you pull out the figures, you build a map, and you just give yourself some space to tell a good story and have the players have a fun experience. With using the fun gameplay mechanics that we play all the time.
And how about? And I'm gonna, if you want me to wrap this, Joe.
Sure.
Because I think this has been a good segment for this. But let me tell you something that I kind of see in the future when it comes to because it's still kind of like a proof of concept for this. You're in those
like I said, the core stuff I already have knocked down. It's just how do I now explain and fill, essentially put up that article that explains everything easily for everyone.
Right. But I think what you have is something that I see, you're not going to ScapeCon this year, but
no.
Next year, the year after, whenever you're going back to ScapeCon,
I'm definitely hosting one.
I can see to where, after a long day, and we know how brain numbing playing Heroscape and ScapeCon is. After a long day of playing Heroscape, just to go to the booth that JoeCrazy has in the extra game room that they're now going to have for EscapeCon. Join JoeCrazy to play a Heroscape Adventure, to where it's about having a fun time with the story instead of competitive gameplay. And I look forward to doing that with you in the future and setting this up. And this is something that I think as well that might be fun when my son gets old enough to play. Whether, because you can make this as detailed or as simple as you possibly want. I mean, you could just have one character just trying to find a glyph or something, or some object, and keep it as simple as that, or you can do something wider. So, I definitely look forward to see what you have in store in the future. Excuse me. And definitely for this, I might actually put a little TLC into this segment to where I can edit it a little bit finer. And so for those of you who have continued watching this segment of the video, again, whatever, and it might take me time, so there might be already links to Joe doing other things for Heroscape Adventure. And so that'll be in the link description below, and I'll update it as needed. Do the like 25 times, comment, ask questions, and voice your opinions about this, and let's see if we can make this happen more, and tell us your ideas as well, what you would think would be a great adventure. It's a great sandbox. It's a very wide sandbox to have for this. So Joe, I thank you, sir. This sounds like very, very interesting. I hope that you continue to expand it. And for me, I like to read. So hopefully there's something to, digest in the future. I think it's something that would be, very, very simple to make, but I look forward to reading that in the future for sure. So thank you, Joe.
Absolutely. You're welcome, Ryan.
All right, now here, as soon as I gotta figure out how do I go back to, let's see, do I hit, yes, okay, there it is. All right, cool. So I go back to this. All right, how about we start wrapping up this live stream? Did a pretty good chunk of live stream tonight. That's nice. All right, so I'm just gonna hit one comment from the last live ToV podcast, and that comes from Rye Guy himself, Ryan Haggerty. Wrote in the comment section and said, I had so much fun writing that story and talking about marshmallows. And I'm glad some of that fun shined through. I would absolutely love to take you up on the offer for a writing guest spot. All right, absolutely. And so definitely going to keep in contact with Ryan in the future. Always love to have, it'd be good to have a core group of people to have ideas thrown around. And he definitely looked like he was interested in the character development of the Airborne Elite. And it might be fun to throw other characters at him and just to say, okay, what do you think about, these, and how could they fit into Tales of Valhalla? Because I mean, me and Joe have talked about this a little bit, but what does it mean in the future? What does Tales of Valhalla mean? Is it going to, stay? I love the Airborne Elite, and they definitely have a story beyond season 3. But what about the expansion of other characters, and that's always been on my mind. So it might be also something fun to play with, and have other people conceptualize as well. So yeah, definitely, Ryan. We'll be in touch for sure, and keep on writing. We'll look forward to reading what you got. Okay, so that is that comment. And just real quick, I don't have it on me, but also someone commented about our Airborne Elite Heroes and Squads segment video, and said just keep on, we love what you guys have to say. Keep on doing those things. So people really like the Heroes and Squad segments as well. So, okay, how about we start wrapping up this live stream, and we're going to go, and how we usually end it, and for you, Dominic, how we usually do this is I just go to everybody on the panel, and they just give their final thoughts on the stream for this evening, and then they promote their channels or whatever they have to end it. So what I will do is I will start with JoeCrazy, and we'll work our way, I think, around. Yeah, go ahead.
Clockwise? Or is it counterclockwise?
I don't know how it is. It's just a circle. It's a moon.
I mean, it really
Looks like
kind of
a
looks like more
moon
like a triangle or
around
maybe a
me,
pentagram. I'm not
something.
exactly
I
sure.
don't know.
But
I think it's counterclockwise though. I think I might be counterclockwise. So.
But yeah, no, it's been an awesome stream. Thank you to Ryan again for letting me have this platform to talk about Heroscape Adventure. I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time. But yeah, no, awesome stream today. Last week, I did talk about a little bit, but I just want to say thank you to G Busy. Finally met him in person. And I met some of the other guys on the the southern eastern hemisphere, eastern coast because of Heroscapers. There's a group in Maryland that play and from coming from Philly as well. Thank you to all of those guys. G Busy was the host that time around. They take turns hosting different events, tournaments. So thank you to him and everybody that I met there. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Can't wait for the next one. So that was really awesome to finally meet him and everybody else. But yeah, and for the channel this week, it's going to be quite light. I'm actually working on an editing portfolio video. I want to start getting some editing jobs. Work on, trying to build my career in the editing field. So I'm actually going to be working on something like that. So you might going to see a kind of a short video this week, showcasing some of the awesome things that I do. Either it's stuff from Utz Cup, it's from short films. I might even be working on a channel trailer, to be honest, as well. So for any of those people that come in and not sure exactly what I do on my channel, I was thinking of combining the editing portfolio with some kind of introduction to what I do around here. Because majority of the stuff is Heroscape, but I want to still do stop motion or live action story stuff and video games, and so if you may not get that. If you by chance you don't want to scroll through the hundreds of videos I have on the channel, so I'll give you a minute 30 to kind of explain everything. So that's kind of what's coming up on the channel. And like I said, if people are interested in this in Heroscape Adventure, then maybe either tomorrow night or even probably most likely Thursday. Thursday I'll probably start working on that. But let me know either on Instagram, Facebook, Discord, anyway. If you're watching this live, get a hold of me and say, "Hey Joe, please work on your next adventure. I'd love to help. Either make with tips or whatever." So I could be live and doing that. So that's what's coming up on the channel this week. So, but yeah, JoeCrazy 3193, baby. That's who I am. So until next time, guys. Ryan, I yield my time.
Thank you, sir. And yeah, thank you for everything you do, because I know you keep busy. All right, Jeremy.
Right. Yeah, I mean, very varied. Wow. I just didn't realize how close those words sounded. Had a lot of stuff to talk about today. I think it was a really good show we did. We get to talk about the journal entry, which once again, if you have the opportunity, check it out on our previous podcast episode last year where we talked about it, and then you can compare that with our podcast episode today where we talk about
it's the Chris Nadeau interview. So
yeah, that was the foundation of what they were planning on doing with Age of Annihilation at the time. And it's still, like I said, in my personal opinion, one of the foundation elements of Heroscape itself, the narrative, the core. If you want to know what the heck the game is about, that's probably the best way to tell your friends about it. Just be like, hey, read what Jandar had to say about Heroscape, and then you'll be like, oh, this sounds great, and then everyone gets to play, and that's the positive expectation. But the Alastar Macdirk, super character, one of my favorite historical characters, of course. Like I said, a slight negative memory since I did lose my original version and I had to get the second one. So I've had 2 Alastar Macdirks pass through my fingertips.
The trauma.
At some point. Trauma, yes. I was so mad. Trust me. Like, if any long-time Heroscapers are in the chat or listening right now, and if you've lost the character, I get it. It's the worst. But yeah, got him back just in time to try him out with the Frostclaw Paladins. I am looking forward to trying that at some point and see how that works out. And yeah, I'm excited for your channel, Dawn Predator, to grow. And I got you looked up right now. So when you post as much as you can when you can, and keep to the work. You're doing awesome already. You got all of us supporting you, and yeah, I feel like if you have any questions at all, you can bug any of us at any time, and we're down to help out. So,
yeah, thanks.
'cause, yeah, content creation is about teamwork, and we're not alone out here. So you got people to message. So
Yeah.
and yeah, definitely with Heroscape Adventure, looking forward to see more about that as well. We got some cool projects in the works there. Super excited to see more progress on both of those. So you two keep it up. I believe in y'all. You got this.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. As far as my stuff that I've been working on currently this week, once again, I'm terrible with schedules. When I go live, it's literally spur of the moment, unfortunately. But for the most part, it is most lore coverage that I have, the various topics that I cover, lore related. Anything that I cover video game wise, I'm probably talking about the lore. If I'm talking about board games, it's the lore. That's just what I do. I actually had the opportunity. I was inspired from this podcast to attempt to create a bio for the air elemental, and I posted that last week.
Excellent.
Kind of, because I was thinking about. I mean, let's be honest here. They probably won't have an opportunity to actually create anything for it because last time when they were working on Age of Annihilation, they said that they didn't want to use the Dungeons and Dragons IP, and we went through the whole thing explaining that. So I'm like, you know what? Might as well use the material that we got and see what I can do with it. So posted that, kind of get my hand back into the Heroscape writing experience. I haven't written content for Heroscape in a very long time, but it was very awesome to do, and I did it live as well. I actually I'm going to be editing some of that video footage of me writing that out and showing my process of mental mapping what I do for my writing before I go writing. I have that all saved on my hard drive, so I've got to do some editing of that, post that, so you'll probably see that later on my channel. And yeah, and everything else that I do. But Heroscape specific, that's what I got going right now. I got the air elemental bio that I posted. I'm going to edit the footage of me writing that, and then hopefully start working on the others, the other bios that never got written, and kind of just explain my process on why and how I did that for those two. Because yeah, Heroscape lore is just really fun to dig and unpack. So you can probably show up on my stream and watch me just like my brain explode on camera because I'm just talking about all the stuff associated with it. It's pretty great. But yeah, that's what I got. And as always, my name is Jeremy, or the Croatoan, and I run the Eslam Colata channel dedicated to the story and lore of video game and tabletop narratives. And you can find me on YouTube, you can find me on Twitch and on Twitter. And I pass the baton.
You passed the baton. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason.
All right. Well, one of you guys made the mistake of mentioning AI a little while ago, the sort of JoeCrazy segment. So
Uh-oh.
Here he goes.
I wandered over to Google Bard over here and ended up with a very long, pretty epic story about us playing Heroscape that results in us encountering a Heroscape demon that has glowing red eyes and can shoot lightning out of its hands. So it's rather...
You gotta send me the text of all that, Jason, so I can read it next time. All right, just
do
copy paste, send it to me.
It's got an incredibly epic last line ending. I don't
Oh,
know if
that's
I should
awesome.
spoil it.
No,
No,
that will be a
no
cliffhanger.
spoilers.
Cliffhanger. That'll be next time.
That's the only thing I will allow it. I will allow it.
You want me to read it or no?
No.
want me to read it?
We'll wait till next time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Next
All right.
Just send it to me.
And
That'll be a subject next time.
and I also went ahead and asked, "Is JoeCrazy 3193 crazy?" To which Google Bard said, "I am a large language model, and I am not qualified to diagnose mental health conditions."
No. The question you should ask is he mind shackled?
Yes.
Oh,
we need
that's
to
a
get
good
down to the
question.
core of that.
Let's find out here.
It won't.
It
won't
might.
know that
It
answer.
might know what that means.
I say the same thing about being.
You could probably like, is he taken over by Nigoxa?
It clearly understands some elements of Heroscape when I was talking to it. So it's got some of the basic concept of the game down. So let's see.
Interesting.
He is not mind shackled.
Oh!
JoeCrazy is not mind shackled. He's a popular YouTuber who plays Heroscape. He is known for energetic and enthusiastic personality. He also has a large following of fans who enjoy his videos.
Whoa.
These
That's a lie.
And then
What?
it goes on to make a disclaimer about the story I was talking about a moment ago. But
I
anyway,
am mind shackled. I am mind shackled.
It is official now. He is not mind shackled. We cannot say it anymore.
Okay.
or just
He's
maybe
totally
Google
not
breached
mind
Maybe,
shackled.
or maybe the AI is also
No.
mind shackled and is saying that to protect Joe's mind shackled.
There you go.
There is an important disclaimer here at
It
the
always-
bottom of
there's a
Google
chance.
Bard, which reads, "Bard may display inaccurate or offensive information that does not
There you
represent
go.
Google's views."
There
It
you
could be
go.
wrong. Anyway, with all that out of the way, I'm Jason, the creator of the Tabletop Battlefield. You can find me over at tabletopbattlefield.com or Rocker Robotics on YouTube. Last week, I was back painting up some battle mechs, working on the Beta Galaxy for Clan, Ghost Bear, and I don't know what I'm doing for the next point. I'm going to be playing around with some AI making up fake news. That'd be kind of fun to do. All right, that's all I got for tonight.
Alrighty, and Dom, go ahead.
Well, it's been fun. Thanks for having me on. This is awesome. I really like the Heroscape Adventure stuff. That's a good idea there, Joe. Good job with that. Working out all the logistics and stuff. That's awesome. And being able to play test that must be a lot of fun. And we appreciate. I like the lore stuff. I haven't really looked into it that much, but it sounds really cool. I like what we're talking about there. And yeah, well, thanks for all the questions and all. It was fun being on. Yeah, if you want to like check out my channel, it's just Dumb Predator 77. Like I said, I have like a ton of stuff on there. I kind of just do whatever I feel like doing, because I'm just trying to have fun. I'm not like, I guess I'm not really going like for like money really, because I'll use like music that's like copyrighted and stuff. So I'm just having fun on there, and maybe it can supply you some nice entertainment too. So if you're interested in stop motion and stuff like that, I have a playlist. And then if you like Heroscape, of course, which you should if you're listening to this, I have a playlist for that. I have some fun videos on there. Yeah. So yeah, and then there's some other stuff. I don't know what you guys are into, but I have some other things on there. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you guys around.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, thank you, Don Predator, for joining us tonight. This is Don Predator's first time on the ToV Podcast. Hopefully we'll have him back sometime in the future, because it was fun discussing things with you. And it's always fun to get a younger perspective from a young man, and someone who, I mean, yeah, it's okay to have fun and to figure things out. And honestly, I mean, I'm 40 years old. I still don't have everything figured out. So take your time, have fun with it, and learn as much as you can, man, for sure. But glad to have you on board, and definitely.
Next time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I may have to show like I'll have to like send you this one story I made, because I did make like a Heroscape story.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to like, I did it for school, so I was like, yeah, so I'll have to like change the names back, because I did like kind of like off-brand ones. I changed it, instead of like major like Q10, it's like X10 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a little different, but it's like based off of Heroscape, so it's kind of cool.
All right. Yeah, forward it to me for sure. So yes, definitely appreciate. Subscribe. Check out Don Predator's channel. Subscribe. Just check out some of the things. I know there are some interesting videos there for sure. On there. So yeah, definitely check them out. Something is probably gonna pique your interest. So with that, I am Ryan. Tales of Valhalla. Of course, I do run the ToV podcast, but primarily I'm also have been working these past 7 to 10 years on what is known as Tales of Valhalla: The Aftermath Chronicles, which is a stop-motion Heroscape adventure based off the board game Heroscape. If you want hours of what are you laughing at, Jason? I noticed you're laughing.
Sorry, update for Google Bard. I asked Google Bard, are you sure if he's not mind shackled? He says that he is. Google Bard replied, I am not sure if JoeCrazy 3193 is mind shackled. I am a large language model and do not have access to his personal information. Blah blah blah. If you are concerned about JoeCrazy 3193, I would recommend reaching out to him directly.
Oh, well, perfect spot, man.
I made Google uncomfortable.
Google Bard's covering for it.
Oh, too fun.
The Morrow already here.
And before I continue, I just want to give a quick shout. Thank you everybody who commented on the live chat tonight. Rogue Idealist was saying, I play a lot of D&D, like the concept of a rules light adventure. So I count that as 1 like already to the 25 likes to whatever video that I'm going to be posting sometime in the future. And he also says, have a good night all. Great stream. Thank you so much, Rogue Idealist. And we'll probably be talking to you more in the future, depending on what videos or when your videos come out. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. Anyway, as I was saying, stop motion Heroscape adventure based off the board game Heroscape. And I am down like literally hours worth of stop motion content, character development in the series, working on the very end of season 3. And I have a deadline and I don't know if I'm going to meet it, but I have 4 weeks in this month of April to complete these last 3 episodes. It's a lot of audio and sound work. And in these next 2 weeks, I need to finish everything I need to finish in order to start doing the music in the last 2 weeks of April. So these next few live streams that I do coming next Wednesday, next Sunday, and the Wednesday after, it's a race. It's a race to the finish. Of course, for the past several years, that's what it's felt like a lot of the time. It's been pushing myself to every limit I have and beyond to get this out there, to get this, just to get this done. Like you said, like we complimented on with you, Dom, that you decided to do something and you finished it. And it's one thing that's always has driven me is the fact that, I mean, what would I think about myself if I just quit what I started, even though overwhelmingly it has been insanely time consuming, insanely ridiculous. I mean, if I would rethink it, I'd probably be like, maybe not so, but I committed to it. And so I'm stubborn enough to realize I have to finish it. So
Nice.
come join me, anybody out there. So when I'm streaming, it's a lot of sound, but the streams are still fun because while I'm working, I play the hours of a lot of the Tales of Valhalla content while I'm working for y'all to view and have fun during that. And also, as Dom Predator knows, if anybody has a question or comment or highs, I always unmute my microphone and have a conversation with whoever wants to chat, and I have no problem with that. And also, I do have a Discord. If you're watching on YouTube, or go to YouTube on this video or recent videos, and there'll be information for that. It's Tales of Valhalla. I think it's Tales of Valhalla official, or Tales of Valhalla on Discord. And I do have, it's the only place right now where I'm showing like images or videos of these last 3 episodes of season 3 are bits and pieces because I really have no time. All the time I'm doing is time spent with like managing my household, my family, my health, and working on ToV, on editing ToV or editing the ToV podcast, the little time I have for that. So it really is a race to the finish. Come join me, join the Discord, and yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up in that way. And again, thank you everybody who watches this via the audio sphere on Spotify, Amazon. I think it's Amazon Music, and that, you know, these shows are always out there. We thank you for listening, and if you want to come to YouTube and check out those links to everybody, to Don Predator, Rogue Idealist, their YouTube channels, and all these other wonderful people and other people we've had in the past. Definitely check them out. Lots of content out there, lots of things to get you motivated to do possibly things that you might want to do with your life. So with that, I thank you guys again for joining me tonight. I thank you again, all of you guys on the chat, for joining us. This has been the ToV Podcast. We thank you all. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, live it. We'll see you guys next time. Bye now.
Later.
See ya.